Okay, as promised, I said I'd do a reading today, and it's very poignant. It's a reading on mindfulness and anger. Again, it's from Peace in Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life. So, again, if you're just tuning into my Instagram Om Reader, thank you for letting me practice my narration, but also thank you for bearing with the ambient noise. I'm at a city park outside of Koreatown, across from the Greek Orthodox Church. It's about to be a lovely sunset, but this is the best I can do for now, so I hope you'll bear with me. But those that don't know and didn't see my YouTube video today regarding anger and having something stolen from me and getting a brief moment of reacquaintance with this feeling that was there briefly, but just enough to really warn me and let me know. So, all right, I'll begin the reading. Mindfulness of anger. Anger is an unpleasant feeling. It is like a blazing flame that burns up our self-control and causes us to say and do things that we regret later. When someone is angry, we can see clearly that he or she is abiding in hell. Anger and hatred are the materials from which hell is made. A mind without anger is cool, fresh, and sane. The absence of anger is the basis of real happiness, the basis of love and compassion. When our anger is placed under the lamp of mindfulness, it immediately begins to lose some of the destructive nature. We can say to ourselves, breathing in, I know the anger in me. Breathing out, I know that I am my anger. If we follow our breathing closely while we identify and mindfully observe our anger, it can no longer monopolize our consciousness. Awareness can be pulled upon to be a companion for our anger. Our awareness of our anger does not suppress it or drive it out. It just looks after it. This is a very important principle. Mindfulness is not a judge. It is more like an older sister looking after and comforting her younger sister in an affectionate and caring way. We can concentrate on our breathing in order to maintain this mindfulness and know ourselves fully. When we are angry, we are not usually inclined to return to ourselves. We want to think about the person who is making us angry, to think about his hateful aspects, his rudeness, dishonesty, cruelty, maliciousness, and so on. The more we think about him, listen to him, or look at him, the more our anger flares. His dishonesty and hatefulness may be real, imaginary, or exaggerated, but in fact, the root of the problem is the anger itself. And we have to come back and look first of all inside ourselves. It is best if we do not listen to or look at the person whom we consider to be the cause of our anger. Like a fireman, we have to pour water on the blaze first and not waste time looking for the one who set the house on fire. Breathing in, I know that I am angry. Breathing out, I know that I must put out all my energy into a caring for my anger. So we avoid thinking about the other person. We refrain from doing or saying anything as long as our anger persists. If we put all our mind into observing our anger, we will avoid doing any damage that we may regret later. When we are angry, our anger is our very self. To suppress or chase it away is to suppress or chase away ourselves. When we are joyful, we are joy. When we are angry, we are angry. When anger is born in us, we can be aware that anger is an energy in us. We can accept the energy in order to transform it into another kind of energy. When we have a compost bin filled with organic material, which is decomposing and smelly, we know that we can transform the waste into beautiful flowers. At first, we may see the compost and the flowers as opposite, but when we look deeply, we see that the flowers already exist in the compost, and the compost already exists in the flowers. It only takes a couple of weeks for a flower to decompose. When a good organic gardener looks into her compost, she can see that, and she does not feel sad or disgusted. Instead, she values the rotting material and does not discriminate against it. It takes only a few months for the compost to give birth to flowers. We need the insight and non-dual vision of the organic gardener with regard to our anger. We need not be afraid of it or reject it. We know the anger can be a kind of compost, that it is within its power to give birth to something beautiful. We need anger in the way organic gardener needs compost. If we know how to accept our anger, we already have some peace and joy. Gradually, we can transform anger completely into peace, love, and understanding. So, you might not know, but today that resonated. I've read it a bunch before, but it really hit home. And it's something, you can read stuff a million times, but until you experience it and you practice it, it doesn't really take hold. So I think that's for any lesson. You know, you read, but you gotta do it. And today I failed in some aspects of that mindfulness, but then I took it and was able to rescue that and find the flowers, so to say, from the compost, as they in the words of Thich Nhat Hanh. So I hope that resonates with somebody else out there. Share some readings if you like. I carry around these books of quotes. I'm very fortunate. My mother made these for me at different times in my life, and I'm going to share a couple with you today. And one is related to, I guess, forgiveness or anger and things. And I just thought, as I let go of the person who harmed me today, so I'm going to show it visually. I don't know. Forgiveness is not something we do for other people. It's something we do for ourselves to move on. So the more I gave to a person that harmed me today, you know, it's selfishly I forgave them in the sense that I knew it was going to bring me peace today, and it did after some definite moments of rage, I will admit, for sure. And then related to different, if you follow me otherwise, for those who in the chronic illness community or whoever is struggling, I thought of this because today was a bit of a flare-up day, a more difficult day for me. Not the worst, but not the best. And just thinking about healing in general. So healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls our lives. So that's actually not the one I was thinking of for that. I meant to read this one for related to that. I read the wrong one. So the one related to like going on and being brave and stuff. So this one is, here I'll show it visually. So, courage does not always roar. Sometimes it's just a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. So that's Mary Ann Rademacher. Radmacher, I should say. Don't know her, but I like those words. So, the healing one is for another day. But, cat's out of the bag. I let it out. All right. Thanks for following along. I hope you subscribe, pass along, critique. Let me know what I can improve on. I know sound, don't worry, it will improve. I'll be doing these with my more professional microphones and in more ambient, better ambiance than sometimes the basketball and everything. I'll give you a little view into this if you want. Let's see here, if I can do a little. There's a mini tour of mi oficina a veces. This is where I work sometimes, for now.